Alright, I'm going to tie the Kreelex Fly. It is pretty much a flash fly with the Kreelex Flash. Looks kind of like this stuff. You can get it at a couple different stores. It's pretty bright and flashy. You want to use a long shank hook, something like this, size 2 or 4. And some dumbbell eyes. I like the ones with the eyeballs on them. They look a little bit more attractive to fish and such. So start to wrap up near the eye of the hook. Come back a little bit. Don't want to go too far back. It's going to be similar to like a clouser style tie, but instead of tying your eyes back farther like you would on a clouser, you can put them up a little bit closer to the eye there. But you want to leave a little bit of some room to play with when you get your material up in the front. We just don't need as much room as a clouser would. This is optional, but I like to do it. Kind of helps make the fly a little more sturdy. Is to put a little bit of some super glue on the eyeball for the wraps. Kind of keeps things a little bit tighter. Make the fly last a little longer too. So let's wrap that guy in there really good. Do some, I guess they call figure eights or whatever, and just wrap both sides really, really well. I do a lot, and you can roll it over. If you have a rotary vise, you can just flip it over, and what you want to do is get underneath the eyes on the top. If you don't have a rotary vise, then you just go like this. Just easier with a rotary vise, that's all. So, there you go, that guy, he's in there pretty good. So now, work your way back to the bend of the hook. This doesn't need to be super fancy, you just want to kind of cover the shank a little bit to get your thread back there. Right about there. Now we want to take the flash. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this one's going to be a gold and silver color. So being that silver is the lighter color of the two, you want to make it the bottom of the tail and the bottom of the fly, just so it kind of gives a more of a bait fish kind of imitation. You want to get whatever thickness you want for the tail, something about 30 or so clumps, something like that I like to do, and I like to use it at moderate length as well. Something about that long, because we're going to be using a lot of it. So get the length. You want something like about that, which is about the length of the hook shank, roughly, all the way into the bend, from the eye to about the bend. I like to do, and that's where you're going to start tying your thread into it in the back here. Give a couple wraps, cinch it down, and then let's take it. And what you want to do is you want to work now your thread all the way up to the eye of a hook. I mean, yeah, the eyeballs, lead eyeballs that you have. So that, like this. A little tricky to do, but I do it like this. And that looks a little sloppy, but you can go back and fix it, smooth it out. Makes it easier in the long run. There you go. Yeah. Now, this is where you want to try and be a little neater and tie the thread where you're not going to show any of the sparkle. You want to keep it kind of tight. Your red. I only used red because It kind of gives the color of gill and so forth. And this fly flashes out a lot. So this underneath is kind of a good, in red is a good thing to have, because when you stop stripping it, all the flash will come out and it'll show this red thread underneath, almost like a gill in a way, or you might think, it seems that way. So it's kind of good. And once you get that all the way wrapped up to the top here, you want to leave it there, kind of wrap it until it comes up right to the eye, the lead eyes. And then take it and switch the thread over to the front of the hook. And then take the material, smooth it out, lay it down over top. Put a light one there. Or actually, it's best if you take the thread and you get it right up close to the eyeball, the lead eyes right up front. And then you put like a light one over top. Light one over top. And then maybe one more, kind of cinch it, and then you take it and pull on it. Get it there, yeah, then cinch it down a couple times. Not a lot, just enough to kind of get it. Work your way up to the front, the eye of the hook after you get some of those wraps, those tighter wraps in there. Don't want to go all the way to the eye like that. You just want to do a couple to get up there. And then we take the material and we fold it back like this. And then you want to wrap the thread on to what you just flapped on there. That's good. Don't want to do too much because we got to do a lot more wraps there first. So then move your thread like I just did to the other side of the eyeballs again. And then we want to take the material, lay it down right behind there again. So let's do that. Put in a good couple wraps. Make it good and tight. You don't want it to fall apart on you later. So you have that. And then while you're here, I like to cut it right to just past the bend of the hook here. And keep those wings kind of dangled back there a little bit like that. Okay. And that's the belly of the fly that we have right now. So take your thread, put it back at the front there, and roll your fly over. We're going to put on the gold. This one you want to cut off a little bit less quantity wise in length as well as bulk than you did for the tail and the wing, the silver portion that we just put on, because we're going to double this guy back on itself to make it work. So do it like this, and so you can trim up your ends. This one's got really wiry out there in the end. So again, we want it to kind of go that long, so just kind of think where that's going to be. It's about like that. And then take material, put it back here, tie it in, just like you did in the first one. A couple light wraps. Reposition your material so it's up top. Pull on it a little bit and get it some more wraps. And then wrap that guy up towards the eyeball. And then flip it over. Oops. Over like this. Roll it down and tie it in. We're looking good. So then you want to get some good wraps. You want to finish that head off, cover up all the material. So we gotta do a lot of tying, a lot of wrapping here. Bulk it up, gives it a good appearance. Don't bulk it up too terribly much, because what we can do is use, to get some there, you use your whip finisher, and it'll also do the same thing. Do this a couple times. I'll do a lot of these. I know it's more than you need, but like I say, I'm just doing it to create a nice bulk on the head. Covering up the material. It makes it look good. Some troubles here. So, I'll do one more. Okay. Then cut it off. Let's cut the wing as well. Top wing. You would cut it the exact same length as the other one. So you can kind of see, you want to kind of cut it back here somewhere. I can't see that way, but about there. So you got that covered on it. So, and that pretty much is the finished fly. I like to, at this point, put some head cement or something. I like to use clear cure goo. This stuff, it says it's tack free. They are liars. It's a little bit less tacky as the original product, but it's still tacky. But it's a great material. Acts just like epoxy. Very durable and easy to apply. But unlike epoxy, it cures with sunlight only or UV rays, and you have a special flashlight to use to apply it, to dry it on with, and it kind of means that you can lay the material on there. If you mess up, you can always fix it and reapply or wipe up whatever you don't want. And I like to apply it to the top of the eye as well as all the thread wraps. Even the one behind the thread wrap here, get a little bit in there. It's always good. Sometimes you need a little bit more. Let's see, get underneath. And if you ever getting in the eye of the hook like I just did, you can clean it out pretty easy too. And it settles out nice. So you can put the clump on and you just kind of rotate it around and it'll kind of settle itself into itself. I got it into the eyeball, so I want to clean that out. Not the eyeball, but the eye of the hook, I mean. Stick a needle in there or something. Kind of gets the job done. Just to clean it out. It's good. Then you get a little flashlight like this and just stick it on. This will cure it in about 10 seconds or so. I'm a little obnoxious. I will do it continuously for about 30 seconds or more, just because, I don't know, I just do. But then this stuff, like I say, it's done. It's slightly tacky. It can leave your fingers on it. And something I do to kind of fix that is use rubbing alcohol. What you do is you just stick your finger in it, get it real wet, splish it around, rub it between your two fingers like that, and just rub the material, clear Q goo, wherever you had it, you applied that on at, like that. Rub it in there good. You can blow on it, dries it off, and then you're done. It takes away that tack, and it's not tacky anymore. It's going to be just like epoxy, and that is a real sturdy Kreelex Fly.